We're thrilled to be back in Oakland again with all the steel girders falling into the freeway. And I'm April Rochelle from Bashar Communications, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this exciting day of contact with Bashar. We're always happy to come up here. And of course, I want to welcome all the people who are joining us from Ustream. So we have people from all around the world that are participating in today's session. Actually, today's session is entitled Shedding New Light on Negative Beliefs. And as you know, Bashar has talked a lot about negative beliefs and how to stay balanced in the event that you encounter negative beliefs, which are all internally generated, right? So we're getting better and better at that, right? Understanding how to do that. And so Bashar is going to introduce some more ideas on, new perspectives on negative beliefs and how to let go of them more easily. And that, of course, will be a very empowering state to be in when you can deal with that coming from within or also coming from other people. And with all the uncertainty in the world right now, this is a really important skill to learn in your journey of transformation, how to remain balanced in the face of negativity. So thank you all so very much for coming. And I think at this time, I'd like to bring onto the stage the very talented Darryl Anka, Channel for Bashar. So are you ready to go to sleep? This is the only person I know that gets to sleep on the job and everybody loves him for it, So, well, thank you very much, Darryl, for bringing us this wonderful information and helping to make the earth a better place. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good time. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. A little say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? All right, thank you. Once again, we thank each and every one of you individually and all of you together collectively for the co-creation of this interaction. We would like to begin this transmission by stating the title, Shedding New Light on Negative Beliefs, and present to you a new way, a new perspective of looking at how negative beliefs function so that you can have a clearer idea of how to let them go, if that is what you prefer, of course. We have had many conversations with many of you in which people have stated that they feel certain energies that are blocking them. Certain kinds of energies or forces that are preventing them from doing this or doing that. Sometimes even talking about the idea of external forces and external energies that don't allow them to do one thing or another, or are allowing them to feel that they are being controlled by some other kind of force or energy from somewhere. The first thing that is very important to understand in this concept that we are sharing with you today is that anything that you experience internally is your energy, no one else's. It cannot be any other way. You have your energy, and everything you experience in life is made of your energy, is happening in your energy. Now, this doesn't mean that there can't be other beings that you may be interacting with or aligning with that have their own energy and maybe have their own agendas and maybe have their own intentions. whether they be beings that are human or non-human, isn't the point. The point is that no matter what anyone else's agenda may be or intention toward you may be, the only way you can experience it is by matching the vibration with your own energy, and thus creating a representation of what it is they may be attempting to pass along to you. But you're creating that experience, that internal experience of what you call their energy, out of your own energy, because that's the only thing you have to work with, is you, in your reality. So the idea, bringing this down to the concept of beliefs, and more specifically, the idea of negative beliefs, we have talked about the idea how negative beliefs, like any belief, will attempt to perpetuate themselves, doing whatever they need to do to prevent you from letting go of them. But when you feel the idea, when you express the idea that some form of energy is stopping you from doing this or that, it's very important to remember that all you're actually feeling is your energy. Beliefs do not have their own energy in the context of this concept. They have to use your energy and get you to feel your energy in a certain way in order for you to have the experience that you are assigning to them as their energy. So they are borrowing your energy, siphoning off your energy, filtering your energy through the belief and reflecting it to you in a certain vibration that is representative of the belief in order to give you an experience that something else is controlling you, something else is forcing you, something else is pressing its energy upon you. But it's all you. Every single bit of it is your energy. So in order to make this idea a little bit clearer, we would like to use an analogy, since we have titled this Shedding Light, of the light bulb on your planet. A light bulb has no power of its own. You have to plug it in or screw it in to the socket where the energy, the electricity, is then capable of reaching the light bulb and illuminating it. Beliefs are like light bulbs. You are like the electric current. When you screw in a particular belief, then that is the bulb that lights up. But it doesn't have energy of its own. All you have to do is recognize that it is simply an, shall we say, delivery system that lets you know that energy is being run through it. It is an indicator that energy is being run through it and activating it, illuminating it, allowing you to experience that feeling, that sensation that the energy is coming from something somewhere, and I don't know where, and I don't know if I'm in control. But again, it's all you, and all you have to do is unscrew the light bulb, and it will go out. Stop feeding it the energy. It will have no way of illuminating. It will have no way of allowing you to feel anything. You will know you are not being controlled by anyone but yourself. But when you filter that electric current, that energy, through the light bulb belief system, you get what you are flowing the energy to. You get that particular light turning on. But you can turn it off very easily by understanding that it is something that has no energy on its own. You can imagine actually unscrewing that negative belief and being able to look at it in a neutral state for what it is. It's just a light bulb. It's just a device that lets you know where your energy is flowing. So if you don't prefer the feeling, if you don't prefer that feeling of some energy coming from somewhere or some force blocking you or preventing you from doing something, you just have to start seeing that as your energy flowing through a light bulb of a certain type. And if it's not the type of illumination that you prefer, imagine yourself literally unscrewing that light bulb and just looking at it now that it has gone out and realizing that you can change it. You can screw in a new light bulb that is one of your liking, one of your preference. Let's look at it another way as well, continuing this analogy a bit further. Imagine yourself in general as absolutely transparent, so transparent that other people might think of you as invisible. And light passes right through you. All sorts of forms of concepts and energy pass right through you, just like a glass window. Nothing impedes those things. The things that you experience are only when you decide that certain areas of that transparent being need to suddenly become translucent or opaque. You create that opacity that allows the light now to have a place to reside, either translucently, where it lights you up in that area, or even completely opaque, which means then you start reflecting that light back to others based on whatever the opaque area is designed to reflect, be it positive or negative. So another way to understand that this energy is always flowing through you from source is to understand that if something is feeling a little out of alignment, out of whack, as you say, off kilter, there may be belief systems that are allowing certain areas of your being, of your existence, to become more opaque or translucent, and they can be allowed to become more transparent, allowing that energy to just flow right through you like a window. So it doesn't stop. It has nowhere to reside, unless it's something that you prefer. And then you can grab it and become opaque in that area and reflect back that light to others, knowing that it is exactly what you prefer to reflect. And you can decide in what areas you choose to be opaque and what vibrations you choose to be opaque. And those things that don't relate to you, those things that you don't prefer, those things that have nothing to do with you being you, let them be transparent. Let the light pass through. They have nothing to do with you. That energy is for someone else to interpret in their own way. For someone else to take that light bulb and screw it in and get illuminated based on that vibration, that concept, that frequency. So imagine yourselves now in any given situation that you have experienced, may be experiencing now, or will ever experience. Imagine that sensation that you are feeling, some kind of energy, some kind of force. It may feel like a blockage. It may feel like an emotion. It may feel like fear, for example. But you have to begin to understand that you are simply feeling another state of your own energy. It cannot come from anywhere else, because even if it does, as we said, you still have to create your own version of it in order to actually have an experience. You have to match that frequency to have an experience of it. And by doing that, you are making that happen. You are creating that sensation out of your own energy. No one can affect you directly in that sense. You have to agree to affect yourself. So allow yourself to start really understanding that whatever it is you experience internally in any way, shape, or form is made out of your energy. It's all yours, you own it, and you can do whatever you prefer to with it. And start thinking in terms of beliefs being these little light bulbs that you can unscrew and screw in as you prefer to do so, choosing the illumination that you prefer. Use this analogy and it will begin to work for you. Practice with this and you will start to understand that the beliefs themselves have no power. They're just a device to allow you to feel your power, your energy in the way that you believe at that particular moment works for you, be it positive or negative. Because remember, you don't experience anything that you don't believe serves you. So even if you recognize you may be choosing things that you empirically and intellectually understand do not serve you, the only way you would be choosing them and having that experience is you have a belief system, you have a light bulb that you're passing your energy through that illuminates the situation in such a way as to make it seem to be the thing that does serve you. And then you have something to work with because you realize that the only way it would appear that way is because of the light bulb that you've screwed into the socket. Unscrew it and watch it go out. And take a moment to examine all the different beliefs, all the different light bulbs. Choose the one that you prefer. Choose the kind of illumination that you prefer. and screw that one in. The same energy that powered the negative one will power the positive one because they don't have power of their own. It's you that's powering them all. Every single moment. Does this make sense? Yeah. All right. So you can use this as a different analogy for the concept of enlightenment. We thank you for the gift you are giving us in allowing us to experience each and every one of you. And in return for that gift, we ask you now, how may we be of service to you? You may start your dialogues if you wish.
Hello, Tadeo.
Nania.
I was thinking that maybe I would follow up with what you were just talking about with a real life example.
All right.
To see if this sheds more light on the idea.
All right.
Okay, so like when I go into the redwood forest, if I want to, I can shift into an energy state that would be akin to gamma.
Yes.
And from that state, I can hear information from the trees and I can have all kinds of interesting insights about reality.
Yes.
One of the things that I notice I'm constantly dealing with when I do that, though, is that I also become aware of the fact that the trees are being cut down.
Yes.
And that the trees on the planet are extremely under siege, in a sense, by so much destruction of trees and forests.
Yes.
So what happens is that the minute that I become aware of that negativity, it starts to counterbalance, or it creates an opaqueness to where the information that I'm receiving from the trees is now blocked because my energy state is no longer open, but it's now fooling with this rumination about the trees and their suffering and all that stuff. So that's kind of what you're talking about, right? Isn't it? Like a negative belief is that the trees are suffering or that something bad is happening.
Well, that can be an observation of something that someone is doing that you recognize is an act from negativity. But the idea is you don't have to stay in the negativity. You can recognize it and switch back to the positive side so that you can come up with inspirations that might allow you to counterbalance the idea or take actions that would reverse the course of what it is you are observing. So it's not about dwelling on the idea of what's going on that might be a negative expression. It's about recognizing that it is happening, but switching the bulbs back to the positive side so that you can do something about it that's more positive.
Okay, so is this, though, an example of what you're talking about? You've lost your transparency the moment that you attach to a negative scenario and experience things like helplessness or hopelessness, anything that is counterbalancing the energy. And that could be any scenario that you're talking about. Could be a relationship you have with somebody where somebody says something that you don't like, you feel threatened, something like that. Again, it's the same idea. You've now shifted out of your more authentic, energized, positive state, and instead of recognizing negativity for what it is and not being reactive to it, you've incorporated and now become more opaque and you're reactive. Is that correct?
You mean more transparent?
Well, if you've attached to the negative belief, whatever has triggered you.
Well, yes, that shows you where the opacity lies so that you can work on becoming more transparent in that area.
So first it's about becoming aware of where you've now attached to a negative energy.
Yes.
How
where you are flowing, not attached to a negative energy, where you are flowing your energy through a negative bulb.
And so now when first you identified that you've now screwed in a negative bulb, basically.
That one has been screwed in, and that's why there is the reaction.
Okay. And then the idea is to shed light on that? Or how do you
Yes.
respond to it that would allow you then to let it go?
As we said, the first thing you do is recognize that what you are feeling in the sensation is your own energy. And that the only way you could be feeling your own energy that way is that it has now been brought to your attention that it's flowing through a negative belief, a negative light bulb. Start unscrewing that light bulb. Start finding out what that negative belief is and unscrew the light bulb. Because again, the energy is not coming from the negative belief. It's coming from you, but it's passing through the filter of the negative belief, through the light bulb. So the first step in this concept is to understand that the energy is not coming from the belief. The belief has no energy. It's your energy. And then you can decide what to do with your energy by switching out the light bulb or finding out why a negative one was screwed in. To begin with, that brings enlightenment.
So my initial example of the negative side of what's happening with the trees.
Yes.
Okay, now that's my energy thinking that, right?
Yes, and you are relating to an observation that others may be expressing negative energy in the act of cutting so many of them down. But that's just an observation. You don't have to necessarily identify with the feeling and dwell on it longer than using it to just recognize negative energy being expressed by others. Then it's about saying, all right, I have now identified with it long enough to recognize what it is, but I will now flow my energy through the positive beliefs so that I can actually take actions that will do something positive about this. Yes?
So then reconnecting with the positive energy and then just allowing whatever information is necessary or helpful to you.
Yes.
To help you resolve any feelings you may have about the negative side of things.
Well, yes, but remember, the feelings you will have when you screw in a positive bulb will only be positive feelings.
So you'll know you haven't let it go if you're still feeling
Yes.
upset, concerned,
Yes.
whatever. And this translates also to what you talk about where we're looking at the splitting of parallel realities. So
Yes.
when you see things happening on Earth that are negative and perhaps
Yes.
upsetting.
But you don't
again,
belong in that reality. And thus, by flowing your energy through a more positive bulb, you are then capable of being on a vibratory level and in a state of being where inspiration can come to you about what to do to change that.
So it's about not being defeated emotionally by the negative things that you observe, but
Yes.
allowing yourself to stay in a centered, neutral, positive, I guess a neutral or positive state.
Yes.
To allow information to come to you that will assist in transforming the situation in whatever way
Yes.
is appropriate for you to be participating.
Well, yes, because if you dwell in the negative state, all you're doing is adding negativity to something that already is.
That's very helpful. Thank you very much.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Nania.
You're welcome.
Hi, Bashar.
And you good day.
How are you?
Perfect, and you?
I'm good.
All right.
I've been missing you.
You have been missing me?
Yes.
Have you been throwing things at me?
Perhaps.
Why have you been missing me when I am always accessible if you shift your frequency to a level where you can access your own higher mind vibration on the same level on which I exist?
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
Oh, you're welcome. I am happy to remind you.
Oh, I need that. Things are going well
All right.
in the family.
All right.
2 of my daughters and my granddaughter, we're going to Japan.
Oh,
next
all right.
week.
How exciting.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited. Wanted to ask you a question. I think it's in line with what you've been talking about obstacles when we're following our joy,
Yes.
excitement.
Yes.
Synchronistically, these obstacles seem to...
They're not obstacles.
Okay.
They're opportunities. Do you remember all the tools we mentioned exist in the kit of excitement? Obviously not, so say no.
No.
Thank you. Because remember, one of the tools is the reflective mirror. The reflective mirror shows you what might be in you that is out of alignment with your true self, with your joy, with your happiness, so that you can understand what that belief is, deal with it, and let it go. Therefore, it's not that when you're following your joy, obstacles come up. When you're following your joy, information comes up, is being reflected to you that you may be holding on to something in your unconscious mind or subconscious mind that doesn't serve you. Therefore, discovering, in the middle of your joy, discovering something that is not your joy is part of your joy. You understand? It is your joy to find the things within yourself that are not your joy so you can let them go. Isn't that joyful?
It is.
That's how you have to see it. That's how you work with it in a positive way. If you define them as obstacles, you have, by that definition, interrupted your flow. But by saying, oh, goody, my reflective mirror is working brilliantly by showing me something I need to know that I can then let go of and add its energy to my joy. That's how it works. That's one of the tools in the kit of excitement, is to find out what is not your excitement. That's part of the process of experiencing your excitement. And it doesn't have to last that long as you're willing to use it in a positive way. The only reason it might stick around is because you're defining it in a way that makes it stick around by saying, well, it's an obstacle. And now that I've defined it as an obstacle, by its very definition, it's something difficult to get rid of. It's something that doesn't belong. But if it happens, it must be happening for a reason. You have to stay in the positive state, knowing it's happening for a positive reason that serves you, and then you get to use it that way. It's not about, remember, it's not about what happens. It's about what you do with what happens that matters. Is this helping?
Yes, very much, because
All right.
I was thinking of trying to trick the obstacles.
Trick them into doing what?
Well, now I know, just trick them into viewing them as joy and part of my excitement.
But you also have to pay attention to what the message is that they're delivering. You can't just ignore it and say, oh, it's just a joyful obstacle, la-di-da, skip away. You have to know why it's delivering information to you, because otherwise you have nothing to work with and it might crop up again and again and again until you pay attention to what the message is you need to pay attention to. You need to transform. Yes?
Yes, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I've had a few friends make their transition lately, and I was wondering what exactly happens to humans when we
What happens to
lose life force?
when you die?
Yeah.
Well, you wake up in spirit. Remember, physical reality is just a dream that you're having while you're in spirit. You never leave spirit. That's your natural state. You're just all dreaming that you've left. That's what physical reality is. So basically speaking, when you die, you're waking up from a dream and remembering more of who you are. Yes?
That's exciting.
Yes, it is. Does that help?
Yes, very much. And then lastly, I would like to ask you, I've been trying to become a nicer person.
Trying to be a nicer person?
Yeah, you know.
Why is it difficult for you to simply be a nice person?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, what definitions are you applying to yourself that make you seem like you're not a nice person?
Just sometimes I get irritated with my children or
Why?
say things in
Why?
different
Why?
ways.
Why? What's the definition behind the irritation? Something isn't going right because you have this idea of what right should be, when in fact, you may not actually know what the correct path is, but by insisting that you do know, then when it doesn't happen that way, you experience irritation. Maybe you need to relax your idea that you know what everyone should be doing. How about that?
How about that as a mother? So sometimes I think I should just be quiet.
Sometimes that might be the wisest way to be a nice person.
Okay, thank you so much, Bashar.
Just take it on a case-by-case basis. You can feel your way through it. You are a nice person. Sometimes you forget that, but you can start with the understanding that you are a nice person so that you don't have to try to become one. You just have to remember that you are one and then behave accordingly.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And?
Hello, Bashar.
And are you good day?
I'm here to say that Russian community want to tell how much they love you and appreciate all the messages you give to them.
It is our pleasure and our passion.
Thank you. And they ask, do we have any channels for Russian-speaking people?
Of course you do.
Well, could you tell, there's channel named Nala?
What about it?
Could you tell anything about it?
No,
Why not?
because it's not my job.
Oh, okay.
You will use your synchronicity to find, if that is a permission slip you need, the channels that you need that can translate ideas into the language that you prefer.
Okay. Could you tell how many percentage-wise Russian people living in Russia or close by are ready to shift to the new reality?
About 5%.
5%?
Yes.
Am I in the right train?
By asking the question, no. But if you don't need to ask the question, yes.
Wouldn't lead me down that path as much? Or is it just the one that you just said to forgive myself?
Well, again, you understand that some people may simply never have been taught the tools they need to express themselves in a more positive way. So you can come from compassion in the same way that you don't really hold a child to blame or responsible for something that they don't understand how to do better. Yes?
Yes.
You teach them how to do it better. Now, it doesn't mean they have to choose it.
Right.
But the idea is that you need to be the shining example that will allow them to know that at least there's an option for how they could be living their life more joyfully by seeing that you're doing it. Because generally speaking, when you see empowered people, you want to know how they're empowered. And you will want to figure out how to do the same thing for yourself. So teaching them the instruction manual, how it works, will at least give them the option. They may still be holding on to beliefs that won't let them abide by it or use it to their advantage, but you've done what you can, and what they do with what you've taught them is none of your business.
Right. I can have compassion for their experience and respect their choices.
And absolutely respect their choices, because you don't know what their path actually is.
No.
And you don't know what they really might need to go through in order to have a greater appreciation when they finally do understand how to transform.
Yeah.
All you can do is give them some options and be on your way.
Thank you.
Does that help?
That does.
All right.
And just imparting, what frequency are you reading in me?
Right now,
Yes.
about 156,000 cycles per second.
Thank you very much.
You're
My
very welcome.
unconditional love to you, Bashar.
And you as well.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
I have two questions.
Yes.
One is about human death.
Human death?
Death, yes.
Yes.
I'm
What
sorry.
about it?
Seemingly, well, it relates to the negative beliefs. Seemingly human when we die.
Yes.
Human means Earth human. We have a lot of negativity beliefs.
About what happened?
About death.
Yes, I know.
And that might be creating a lot of disease or
Absolutely.
pain.
Absolutely. Because as we said, death is just waking up from a dream.
Yes, I understand that. But not many human doesn't. And it might be maybe you can help me to how to support who doesn't understand this concept or the mechanism.
Well,
And
again, you can only give them the information based on your level of understanding, and you have to allow them to understand it or not understand it. But that's all you can do. It's something that can be explained. More and more people on your planet are beginning to investigate the concepts of what happens after you die and are realizing that you do continue, that there are many kinds of things that can be experienced in spirit, that it's really up to you to choose. More and more of that information is finding its way into your society. This is why you are realizing that subjects like so-called near-death experiences are becoming more and more well-known. Because people die, they go to the other side, they say, oh, this isn't so bad, and then they come back and say so. So there's a lot of information that people can find if they're interested in finding it. And you can be a part of that research and give them information and so on and so forth to the best of your ability, but that's just about all you can do.
so after we understand that how exactly transition is, then we don't have to have a disease or suffering.
No, not really. You don't have to.
Through the death.
No, you don't have to.
So we don't have to create.
We don't have it.
Yeah,
Our society has none of it.
yeah, that's I imagine.
When it's time to go, we just go. Now, the idea, again, is you can also help people understand this by helping them understand that physical reality isn't real. It's just a dream. So if you start with the understanding of people becoming more lucid in the physical dream and understanding it's just a projection of consciousness, then they'll understand that death is really no big deal. Because in a sense, you're already dead.
Yes.
Because as I said, spirit is your natural state. Therefore, you're just pretending that you're not in spirit. So if you can understand that physical reality isn't real, the experience of it is real, but the solidity of it is not. And even your own physicists are beginning to understand this. It's just a projection. So the more you understand the illusionary aspect of physical reality, the easier it will also be to understand the reality of non-physical reality. You'll start to blend them together. There won't be so much of a difference between the two states. Yes?
Yes.
All right, so that's one way to go about it. What's your second question?
Related to that ending part.
Did you say alien?
No, ending part of your answer. That you said it to blending spirit. And,
Yes.
And I am experiencing a lot of this right now. And
It's part of the symptoms of expansion of consciousness that you start seeing how unreal physical reality is and how real spiritual reality is.
And creating my reality, even the physical condition that from inside of me, inner part of me, that higher. Well, I don't like to say higher or the lower, but
it's all right. We understand what you mean by that.
Yes, the word is sometimes hard to explain.
That's a belief system.
Yes, I know. That's why it's hard.
That's a belief system too.
So I understand the concept of turning off, just to take off light bulb. Today's conversation. I have another belief system before you say, I hope that that much easy, just take
You don't have to hope it. If you understand the concept, you know that it works. Knowing is way beyond hope and faith. You understand how things work.
Yes, and that understanding or knowing is automatically coming through my
That's part of the process of transformation on your planet at this time. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you. But it's just giving, right now I am a little bit, so human term, hard time of those merging two, and one side is the spirit or expanded consciousness, the way I live.
Yes.
Daily life, and also the old belief system I have in this identity of my human Mikiko.
Yes.
And those are just a belief system I accumulated in.
Well, it's a mask.
Yes, yes.
It's a part that you're playing. Now, you at every level will still feel like you, your identity, your core identity never goes away. You will always see yourself still as you. But the idea of Mikiko is just a part of the greater you. So when you expand into spirit, Mikiko won't go away, but Mikiko will be a part of what you are as a greater being. It will still be you. Yes?
Like a beach, but also beach contains the grain of sand, and then Mikiko is a grain of sand.
Yes.
And it's still there.
Did you just call yourself a beach?
Well, I am beach in that sense, but I still have this, and then a multidimensional different being that you explained to the other questioner.
Yes.
I understand that, and then I can feel I'm having different dimensional experience on a daily basis, but
there's no but.
Yeah.
You see, when you say, I'm having this, and then you go, but, you're canceling what you just said. Mm-hmm. So why not just stay? I am having these wonderful experiences, and I know they will continue. And even if I discover something within myself because of the reflective mirror that is out of alignment with that, I know I will use it to my advantage and continue having wonderful experiences, because discovering something that's out of alignment is part of my wonderful experience. So there is no but. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Thank you.